Welcome back to Can I Be Frank? It's been a very long time, but we are back. I said I'd been taking a break. Well, I didn't say that at first, but I wrote a little thing about it on my post tab. So you can see, I took a break. You see, I've got a lot of school stuff going on, which is dead boring. But the thing is, there's just so much going on with the Muppets at the moment. It's too difficult to just fully ignore it. And after the special little press, special people who went to the Muppets rock and roller coaster things, all the, the openings, the little ceremonies, live shows, all that happened. I was like, stuff it. It's too good to ignore. So here we go. We're going to have a look at some of the stuff that's been going on. Let's get the show started. Yes, a fantastic media event took place to promote the Muppets in Rock and Roller Coaster. Yes, and it featured so many of the Muppet characters in a live show performance. Now, this sort of thing really doesn't happen very often with the Muppets. It happens, every now and then with these special Disney events. But for something that has such a large audience to be there, because it's out in the open, this is truly, truly cool. Now, I thought I'd cover it, and I'm going to go through all the characters that we saw in the live that people would have seen in the flesh, or in the fur, I should say, and then all the characters that appeared on screens either side of the stage. Now, it's actually an incredibly large cast. The Muppets have been doing little promotional bits for this attraction, but it hasn't featured a whole lot of characters. Obviously, the Electric Mayhem are a package. They seem to come by themselves, all 6 of them at once. So it was very, very cool to see more than just the Electric Mayhem for this press event. It was so cool. I'm going to go through all the characters that we saw. And it's going to be amazing. We're going to go through all of those characters and a little bit about each of them, and some interesting puppetry things I want to talk about, because that's one of the main reasons I love the Muppets, is I'm such a huge fan of puppetry. Now, it's going to be a really good video, so stick around, give us a subscribe and all that jazz. Let's get into it. Let's go through the list of characters that were there in the fur and the fabric, in the flesh. So, obviously we had the entire Electric Mayhem, which was so cool. Dr. Steve, Floyd Pepper, Janice, Lip, Zoot, and Animal were all there. And if you want to count their incredibly niche 7th member from the first Muppet film, Scooter was there as well. Obviously that's a good play, because Scooter the animatronic, which is an incredible animatronic and opens up so many doors for Muppet projects in the future. Scooter's there as well to help promote it all, because obviously he's quite a big part of this attraction. So that was cool. They all got good cheer. But the first things we actually saw on this event were the 2 chickens. It's not every Disney franchise that can bring 2 chickens on and get a crazy yell, but it was really good. The crowd were very responsive to that. So we have all those guys. They do the whole sort of Electric Mayhem doesn't know what's going on. That's really good. But what was more interesting for me is I'm interested in the puppetry side of things, and David Rudman, who's one of the best in the world, he does Cookie Monster and Beaker and Janice and Scooter, but Janice and Scooter are on stage at the same time, and the audio is live. The audio vocals, not the song vocals, but the just the talking. So Scooter comes up first, and I know David's manipulation. It didn't look like David was performing Scooter. It looks like someone else. I don't know who. Could be Bradley Freeman Jr. I don't know. I have no idea. He wouldn't have been used for that, because he's not any of the Electric Mayhem band members. We know he was there because he did Rizzo later on, spoilers. But yeah, Scooter comes up by himself at first, and he's talking, and it's really good, but it's definitely not David performing it. It's just got a different manipulation style, and Janice comes up, and I think that basically David is doing Janice's performance, but he's doing Scooter's voice when Janice is already up there. So Janice is there, she doesn't move at all, she just sort of stands there, which is probably because Dave is focusing on doing Scooter's voice, and then Scooter goes down, and then David starts doing the Janice voice instead. But I thought that was really cool, because I don't think that's really happened before, I was sure that that's how they did it. And then later on, Dr. Steve goes, Scooter, he has a question for Scooter, and Janice is still on the stage, and we only hear Scooter's voice. And Janice kind of goes a little bit more still again, like David's focusing on doing the Scooter voice again. So I think that's really cool. I do believe that David was doing both voices, and someone was they've learnt the script and they've got the timing up with David's manipulation. So that was a cool little thing that I noticed, and I just wanted to point that out because I don't think many people would have noticed that. And as much as there's not really any proof for that, I'm almost 1000% sure that's happened. I was confident enough I would be confident enough to genuinely ring up David Rodman and say, is this how it happened? I just have no idea how to contact him. But that's my guess. So now, we spoke about the Electric Mayhem, the chickens, Scooter. Now the funny thing comes up now is Rizzo appears in his first big public live appearance with Bradley performing him, and Bradley does such an effortless job. He's really got to grips with the character, the voice, the mannerisms, the movement, and Scooter. He's kind of doing the normal thing where the Electric Mayhem get lost and he's looking for them, and well, Rizzo attempts to help by dressing up him and his other rat friends in the Electric Mayhem sort of stereotypical clothings, and they all have the facial hair, and it's quite a good joke actually. A nice little thing to notice is Bubba the rat is dressed up as Dr. Teeth, because they're both Bill Beretta characters. I thought that was a nice little touch. So we get to see those guys, and I thought that was really cool, because when the Electric Mayhem have done press events for this sort of thing, they only ever come by themselves. It's not, they don't usually bring other characters with them. When they did the entire series for the Electric Mayhem, when they did the press stuff for that, it was just the band members, it was nobody else. So I thought it was really cool that they actually brought some other characters in just to bring that Muppet Mayhem, because truly, when the Muppets is doing their stuff, the best, it's when they're free and when there's not so much. You don't want to know what's going to happen next with them, and that was really good. Now, the next character that pops up in the flesh, which is I can kind of see why they did it, as although he kind of has nothing to do with the attraction, Pepe the King Prawn pops up, and he gets a gigantic cheer from the crowd. Obviously, he's a fan favourite, and they've just done it for a bit of fun. It was a really good move, and as much as I thought his little sketch with the Dido was a little bit dry and not very funny, it was very good to see him out in the wild. That's the new Pepe they built for the new Muppet series. I don't think we've seen that out in the wild yet, so that's very cool. And what's much, much more cooler, especially in the park where this is taking place, because of Muppet Vision 3D, the biggest of deals for me is to watch Bean Bunny come up. I mean, that's just such a cool move, because Bean has always had a special connection to the Disney parks in my head anyway, more than any of the other characters have, because for a lot of people, they won't know the tale of the Bunny Tail Picnic. I've said that wrong, but anyway, they won't know all the things that he sort of popped up in first, and for a lot of the public eye, they will know him from Muppet Vision, or they will know him from the Muppets Visit the Walt Disney World, that's special, all those sorts of things. So it's so cool to see Bean in puppet form, out in the wild, doing his thing. Bradley Freeman Jr., again, effortless. I wish he turned Bean to look at the crowd more. I must just point out, I don't think the puppeteers are very good at doing the live stuff, because they're looking at monitors clearly, because they've got the TV screens behind the puppets. That's my cat. Can you be quiet, please? So they're kind of looking at what the monitor sees and not what the crowd sees. So they do keep the puppets quite low down in the stage sometimes, and they don't make eye contact with the crowd very, very well. But that's because they're used to TV puppetry at this point. But it was really good nonetheless, and Bean was a fantastic little cameo there. And I hope that is not the last time that we see him in the parks. I think it would be a really cool thing if the Muppets did like an annual performance outside of the station there, because it's such an amazing little thing to do that like no other IP in the Disney parks can do it the way that the Muppets do it, because that is the real performance. Those are the real puppets, screen used, that we've known and loved. You can't do that with animation in the same way. So I think that's such a cool thing to do. And they did it with Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean attractions and things like that. I think every now and then they should just do something like that and bring Bean Bunny on a live stage, do photo ops, things like that. It would be amazing, because you got to take advantage of it. Puppets are different to animated characters and live action characters, because they're not a lot of they're a lot of maintenance, but it works. When you see them in the flesh, it's like nothing's being hidden. You're seeing all that you could ever want to see. You're seeing the Muppets with your own eyes. So cool. Those are all the characters that you see with your own eyeballs. And we've got some other great characters that were served as cameos in the screens behind them. The screens were, I guess, for the people further back who couldn't see some of the things that were going on, because, Muppets are tiny when you see them in real life. I saw the Muppets when they were on the O2 show, and they were minuscule at the back anyway. And so the characters that were on the screens, we got Statler and Waldorf to kick it off, doing the same old bolt joke. We're bolted to the seats, that sort of thing, just to kick it off, set the tone for the night. We had Joe the Legal Weasel pop up as well, and I'm pretty sure that's all the guys that turned up, and I think it was really, really good. I just wish that, why didn't they just do it in real life? I mean, it could have... obviously the puppeteer's arms will get pretty tired, but, you could have just done it in real life. Anyway, it was very, very good, and as a media event, I think it was a really good play to have some live and some in the screens there, because it's just keeps it a bit, like we don't know who's going to come up next. And that was a nice feeling. You never felt like you could predict what was going to happen next. But hold your horses, because I did keep one little secret. They did bring out the main man, Kermit the Frog, as well, to kick it all off. I wanted to keep that to the end. You'll only know this if you watch the end of the video. And it's a fantastic little cameo from Kermit. It's really interesting how they play him sometimes when it's an attraction that's literally not based around him at all. So it was a really good way of getting Kermit in there. Didn't feel like they just stuck him in there to get a big crowd and photos and things. I felt like they did a good job with a nice storyline. It was all very neatly connected, and there was a bit of chaos on, liveness to all of the performances, but it was really good. A great bit of press. Thanks again to the guys online who've been putting amazing videos out there. Go and find their channels, subscribe to them. It was really good. Good to be back, can I be frank, people? And I will see you all another day.